All right, for the past couple of weeks, I've been harping on journaling. But what about the folks who are new to or unfamiliar with the practice? How is anyone supposed to use journaling for self-improvement or include it in their book of shadows if they're not even comfortable with journaling on its own yet, right? Good point. So, for anyone who may need some additional information or ideas about journaling, today's video is for you. Welcome back everyone, I'm Witch Hazel, and in the last couple of videos I've shared some of the benefits of journaling, both as a life practice and as a witchy practice. I do realize journaling may not be for everyone, but for many people it's something that they're interested in but just don't have the familiarity with to try and work with it. This was me back in my school days. I remember getting a diary once for either a holiday or my birthday. It was one of those simple little ones with a cheap little lock on it, but I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. The problem was, even though I'd had a writing habit for as long as I could remember, I had never written in a journal. I wrote little poems and stories on loose leaf paper or maybe in a spiral notebook. I wrote letters, but I never wrote about myself for myself. My only concept of journals and diaries was the idea that it was something I had to write in every day and pour my soul into. As you might imagine, that didn't go over very well. I wasn't used to purposefully writing every day, and as a homebody type of kid who spent my days with my nose in a book, I didn't really have any life observations to make, not even any typical teenage angst. After some trial and error though, I found a few ways to encourage journaling, so I'll share 3 of those with you today. First, don't feel like you have to journal every day. I basically had to give myself permission not to feel like I had to write every day. I only wrote when there was something that I actually wanted to take note of. This might have been an event at school or a fun day out, or on occasion maybe even fantasizing about a new crush. I found that once I let go of the obligation to write daily, I had a much easier time writing consistently. This may not be the case for everyone. In most areas of life, I have a very difficult time being consistent when I don't do something daily. Journaling was an exception to the rule for me, but for others it may not be. That's where the next couple of tips come in. The second one is to use prompts. I don't remember journal prompts being a thing back when I was a teenager, but they definitely are now. You can find lists of prompts online, journals that already have them printed on the pages, all sorts of resources. One option I really enjoyed for a while were the 30-day prompts on Instagram. Now these are meant to be picture prompts, but I used them as journal themes. There's something really very fun and creative in taking a single word and writing down the thoughts that spring to mind around it. I actually find it kind of easier and more interesting than question prompts, which I may or may not have an interest in. Also, if your religion has sacred texts, you can always use the old pick a page at random method. Close your eyes, open up the book, set down your finger, and take a look at where it landed on the page. Read what you land on and consider how it relates to you that day. You can do the same with any book, actually, which could get very creative and fun depending on the book. All right, and the last one, the third tip, is try using pictorial prompts. I often like to cut out pictures from magazines and stick them into my journals just for a little extra flair. You could use these pictures as prompts. Talk about why you chose them and what they represent to you. See if that leads you down any mental rabbit holes you can explore. So, what do you think? Do any of these sound like interesting options to you? Keep in mind that none of these are necessarily meant to be long-term if you don't want them to be. Prompts are a means of helping to create a habit if it's one you feel you might benefit from. After a while, you'll get a feel for whether or not journaling is something that you want to make a regular part of your life. So I hope this little introduction to journaling was helpful, and please let me know if it was. And don't forget to check out the description. I've provided a couple of links to additional resources related to prompts and journals if you're interested. Thank you for taking the time to join me, and I'll be back again soon with some additional insights on how I've changed my journaling to improve my productivity. So stay tuned for that. Until then, everyone, blessed be.